Well, good morning and welcome Cody Tucker to Morning Java, which is brought to you by our friends at Get Go Cafe and Market, where you can get 2 breakfast sandwiches for $5. One of the questions you asked me in all the weeks we've been talking was cost of living. 2 breakfast sandwiches for $5. That works anywhere.
So I can live in my car at Get Go. We're
pretty much with free gas for your whole life here. It seems like forever we've been communicating back and forth, and now you're finally here. You've been to Pittsburgh, including a couple of times to meet with us beforehand, but what's your first impression? And don't just say stuff to be nice either.
It's big. There's a ton of trees, which I'm not used to.
He thinks we're big.
Ton of trees, ton of mountains, hills, things. Where I come from in Wyoming, we don't have trees, so that's a little claustrophobic for me. But I feel like we're in a huge city right now. That shows you where I'm from. I feel like this is really big and really diverse, and I'm just not used to that yet.
Well, the Strip District in particular is a fun spot, and that's where we are now. And we just had we can give a free plug to Colangelo's, because if those aren't the best meatballs on earth, I don't know what are.
Good stuff, man. I'm used to Olive Garden, so pretty good stuff.
Yeah. So you're going to be covering hockey, so I hear.
Yeah, I hear too.
Tell me about your background and your passion for the sport.
Well, like I mentioned in my introductory piece, I'm a pitiful Buffalo Sabres fan. I've been following the Sabres my whole life.
A violin here for this part.
Yes, that's been. I know it doesn't sound like much, but I watch all 82 center ice package. I watch everything. Obviously, I've been very envious of the Penguins for a long, long time.
Yeah, and any time a franchise like Washington comes along and wins their first,
gives us hope.
Well, I was going to say that it just makes the list even more dwindling of those franchises that have been around for a very, very long time, like, say, for example, the Buffalo Sabres, and have never won one. In your piece, not the introductory piece, but the main feature for us, you wrote about enforcers, but man, the game's getting away from that, isn't it?
Yes, it is, and it was good to hear from somebody other than myself who's sad about that. It was good to hear from these guys who they would have never made a living in the game. Maybe Chris Tamer, but George Larocque.
Tamer could play.
Yeah, Larocque, no. Jay Caulfield, he even said no way. There's just nowhere for those guys in the game anymore, and it's sad, but it's also I want to talk to these guys because once they go, I can't think of another sport where you've lost a position
or a role. I mean, I guess you could go to like football's flanker from the 50s or something like that just no longer exists. But you know what? Sports do change, and they metamorphosize. Really long word.
Yeah, I don't do smart words.
But they do change, and you see like even in baseball with the shifts that are going on right now, the defensive shifts, it's a different world.
It is, but like in football, people have told me that they've made that comparison with the flanker, but there's also special teams that flanker can go play special teams, or that flanker can do something else.
Where does the fighter go in hockey?
In hockey, you don't want them anywhere near special teams.
Yeah, you're just out. So it'd be remiss if we didn't have one pure hockey segment in all of this here. You've had a chance here in the last few weeks here. Explain to the readers what you've actually done to get up or to get current on the Penguins.
I have been watching hours upon hours of YouTube videos.
And when you say that, what do you mean? Like highlights or the raw games or what? I don't even know this.
I've been going through every player on the roster. I started with Zach Aston Reese, and I've watched every video and read every story you can about him. I'm going just down the line, one at a time. I do have a lot to catch up on. I've been doing that. NHL Network, God bless them. They've been playing a lot of
they play replay games.
A lot of replays. Yeah. So I've been finding myself sitting there watching some replays, and I'm inundating myself 100% all day, every day.
Now, when you went to cover Michigan State for the Lansing State Journal, you pretty much had to do the same thing, right? Yeah. You're not a Michigan State guy.
No, not at all. I knew of 2 guys when I got to Michigan State that I really paid attention to when they were in college, and I said, "Where are these guys?" And nobody had heard from them, so I went and found them, and it ended up being a great story that went viral, and it was amazing.
But with the actual football stuff,
no.
But you had to go in. You just had to dive in head first.
Yeah, back in the day, you couldn't have paid me to watch a Big Ten football game. To me, that's 3 yards in a cloud of dust. I'm from the Mountain West, so
yeah, that ball is up in the air.
Yeah. So I never watched Michigan State, but my wife's from Michigan, so I started getting kind of forced. once I got that job, inundated.
It's funny, that
100%.
reminds me actually of, I mean, I've done 5 Olympics now, and no matter how many times you do them, you're still starting from scratch.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's a whole new set of people that you're covering, with very few exceptions, your occasional Michael Phelps and your freaks.
Yeah.
But you still have to go in and just dive in.
Yep.
You block out everything else, like professionally, that's going on with you, and you just say, I'm going to find out everything. So this is going to be like a, you know...
Yeah, didn't you say I get a mulligan for the first 10 years?
10 years we gave him to learn who... you have to be... one reader said that you have to be able to know who Ramzi Abid is.
Deal. I'm going to be on that right when we're done here.
Like, you could find, like, you could stop, like, the next 30 people who walk by here on the street, and they're not going to know who Ramzi Abid was.
But I'm going to know tomorrow.
He was from the worst Penguins team of the past generation. And that right there, my friend, is some Pittsburgh garb right there.
I got a lot to learn. I'm just looking at all this. I've got a lot to learn.
The Yins thing, did you get that? Or
No.
just something that you hear?
It's just something I heard. I heard it the first time I went with you to Permane Brothers. Because you said, I remember you saying, wow, you got a Yins on your first
Oh, that
night.
was from the waiter.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, you got a Yins right away. But there's also, you can occasionally get a Yiz. There's a lady across the street who works the cash register at Penn Mac who will use Yiz, that is like straight hilltop stuff.
Is that a West Virginia thing or just a Pittsburgh thing?
It's completely a Pittsburgh thing. In fact, if you look up the research that's been done on our dialect, which incidentally is not an attractive thing. We brag about it because
You said it, not me.
It's not. It does not have a great sound to it, but it does not really draw from anywhere. The term Yins itself is just a plural for you.
Right.
And in Brooklyn, that's U's, which is actually more commonly known because it's New York and it's made it into movies and stuff.
Well, everything revolves around New York, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's the world that we live in.
Right.
But it's just neat having you here. I'm excited about this.
I am too. I got a lot to learn, both out here and with the Penguins, and take solace in knowing that that's what I'm doing 24/7. So I'm on it. I'm on the hamster wheel, and I'm excited about it. This is the exciting part, getting to know this stuff. I know it seems tedious. We talked about that. Learning all
just
this
the
new
tech
stuff.
part of it, yeah.
But
the
tech part's tedious. But just learning about the team and the players and the owners and the history, it's exciting. That's a really exciting part.